to me here at the DNC. It's so nice to see you. Politics girl Leigh McGowan. Politicsgirl.com, right? With an S.
Yep, and all the socials are I am Politics Girl.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's how I first encountered you, was on Twitter, and you're just like a dynamo, this incredible media presence.
A phenom. She's a phenom for people who actually care about democracy.
There you go.
Yeah, I always say if you know who I am, it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the fact that you care about the country.
Yeah. And before we get to what's going on here, tell us about the new book you have coming out, which I was so proud to blurb.
Yeah.
So.
Tom, thank you for blurbing that. And I know you have your own book coming out too, so look at us. Just two authors sitting here chit-chatting. But yeah, no, I really wanted to write a book on a political book for non-political people, so that people could see that, first of all, how our government works, because so many of us don't know how it works, by no fault of our own in many ways. They took civics out of school, proper civics out of schools, so most people don't even understand how our government works, and they don't understand how to fix it, because if you don't understand something, how can you fix it? So I put a very big section at the front, maybe 14, 15 pages of America 101. This is how our government works. This is how the systems work. And then I laid out 6 American principles that are 6 things that no matter where you sit on the political spectrum, I think we can all agree make America America. And if we start from those 6 perspectives, then we can move forward with kind of a groundwork and a path to follow moving forward and to look at America through the lens of. So you see these 6 things. America's a land of freedom is the number 1. And you say, do these politicians, do these legislations, do these things that are happening follow the 6? Do they fit with the 6? And if they don't, then they're fundamentally not American. And it just gives us a simple way to look at the country to move forward out of this moment we're in.
That's brilliant. And if people want to pre-order it, the title again is
A Return to Common Sense.
A Return to Common Sense, as in Thomas Paine.
As in Thomas Paine.
There you go. So we're talking with Leigh McGowan, politicsgirl.com, and all over social media. Leigh, and we will get you back on when the book comes out.
I hope
want to
so.
do
That'd be
a
wonderful.
deep dive into it, but for right now, we've got about 2.5, 3 minutes left. So what are your thoughts on what's going on here? What are your big takeaways from, well, so far we've got one night, last night, and today.
Yeah. Well, listen, I came here as a creator. This is the first time that the Democrats have invited creators and given us press credentials, people who are social media people. We are not traditional broadcasters, but we have followings of people who really care about politics. And I think there's this disconnect between the mainstream media and how it connects with the general American public, and then people like me who are doing truth and facts at a time where spin and profit have really become the model of the media. And they've invited a bunch of us here, people like me who do politics and news, and then people who do, homes. There's a child that I met yesterday, and I say a child because he's 19 years old. He has something like 30 million followers.
Whoa.
Yeah. Honestly, he's a dancer, and he's just this amazing, terrific dancer. And they included him as well to say, like, listen, if you see something you like here, or you're inspired by something you like here, they didn't give us any talking points. They didn't say, hey, this is what we want you to say. Here's your message. We're going to pay you. None of that. They said, come, we've opened the doors to you. We've given you the access that the press would get. And you let us know what you think, and you tell your followers what you can think so that they can meet the American public where they are. Because a lot of the American public, they don't get their news the way they used to.
That's great.
Yeah.
In your mind, what was the main message of last night?
I think the main message of last night was thank you, Joe Biden. I think that there's a real testament to the American spirit that we see in Joe Biden, this idea that goes all the way back to George Washington, that, it's not about power for power's sake. It's about leading the country in a way that will serve the country. Yeah. And Joe Biden stepping aside so that a generation could come up and he could pass the torch when he did not have to is so inspirational to what the American spirit is supposed to be, and so antithetical to what we're seeing on the Republican side, as far as like power for power's sake.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just a message of joy and hope and competence and a real coming together. Yeah. And I think the thing that really struck me the most was Hillary Clinton last night up on the stage, because really she was supposed to be the first woman president.
She won by 3 million votes.
She did win, and she was up there with such grace and generosity, and the whole audience just cheered and cheered and cheered because we knew she was supposed to have won. Yeah. And she was saying, like, here's a wonderful president. This will be a wonderful president, and I'm happy to pass the torch. Yeah. And I thought that was just a wonderful moment.
I thought AOC's speech it reminded me of Obama's speech, at the previous, that catapulted him into national fame. I'm guessing a lot of Americans are not all that familiar with her, other than the stereotypes, that Fox News likes to throw around and things. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, listen, if the first night of a convention is supposed to be a launching point for a political star, which we have seen in the past, I think AOC took those booster rockets right to the moon. I mean, I thought...
So did Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, exactly. And I mean, they were really highlighting the next generation to come, right? Yep. That if Kamala Harris is able to break this glass ceiling, look at these two women that will come in right after. I mean, it was
Mallory McMorrow.
Mallory McMorrow is going to speak. She's just amazing. There's just what AOC said, which I thought was so amazing, is that, she started this career of hers as a bartender. And the Republicans keep coming back at her and attacking her and saying, you know what, why don't you leave Congress, go back to bartending? And they say it like a slur. And what she said last night was, I would gladly go back and do that because there is nothing to be ashamed of being a working person in America.
There you go.
Yeah.
Leigh McGowan, so glad to have you with us.
So glad to see you, Tom.
It's an honor to meet you in person.
I know.
Yeah. We've been on
We're
each other's media.
People.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we'll connect again when your book comes out.
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
All right,
Thank you,
bye-bye.
Politicsgirl.com.